Okay, here we are at the good old Gibson Guitar Studios, and it gives me great pleasure to be with Scott Gorham, lead guitarist of
Glad to be here.
Riders. I'm glad you're here too, and here we're talking about a new album, Another State of Grace, the fourth Black Star Riders album. It's coming out on 6th September through Nuclear Blast, and it's produced by Jay Ruston.
Jay Ruston.
Yeah.
We first time with Jay. We did the last two albums with Nick Raskulinich.
Yes.
In Nashville, Tennessee. We needed a change, right? And Jay had mixed our last two albums that Nick did, but every single time he said, I want to be on the ground floor. I don't want to just mix it. I want to be there right in the beginning, from the writing stages, everything. Right? And I was like, yeah, okay. But we started to hear some of the things that Jay did, and they were great. You know? So we thought, okay, change of pace. Let's change it up here. And he works out of a place called Sphere Studios in Los Angeles, which are fabulous. I mean, just beautiful studios, right? So right off the bat, working with Jay's got such a great sense of humor. He's a good musician himself, right? We had a great atmosphere going, right? So right off the bat, you know, we were having fun. Right? So,
is that really important when you do go in the studio with a new producer, that you do get on that he has got, say, good humour and a good camaraderie in the band as well?
Absolutely. You know, it's kind of like being on tour. You're going to be in the same room with the person for X amount of time, you know, and if you don't get along with them and you don't respect what he's going to ask of you, then nothing's going to get done. But Jay was able to come up with a really kind of a light atmosphere. The jokes were flying all the time. And whenever you got stuck on a song, right, it's kind of an ego thing. You walk in and go, nothing's wrong with this song. This is going to be perfect. And then you hear it back and you go, something's wrong here. I don't know what it is, right? And Jay will go, I know what it is. And then he'll give you the suggestion. And you're off and flying. Was
there any disagreements between you and Jay? Did Jay ever tell you sometimes, like, actually, I'm right?
No, he won't work like that. He'll just say, I've got a suggestion.
The title track, Another State of Grace, has got a Celtic flavour. Is that, you know, it's sort of been an integral part of the Black Star Riders sound. Is that important?
Well, it seems to have been important. It's one of those things, you know, Ricky, you know, born in Belfast, raised and all that. My mother was full-blown Irish, half Irish, come from another Irish band. It's kind of in our DNA.
So it comes natural?
It does, you know. I wrote one of the Irish songs on the last album. It was Ricky's turn on this one to write Another State of Grace. You know, it's, you know, the Irish tunes and Irish lines they're very poetic, it seems, right? And they're a lot of fun to play. And when you slam on an electric guitar with those lines, there's a lot of power that goes on.
I think that's a great thing as well when you hear them live. It does make one raise your glass in the air, doesn't it?
You want to do the old, you know, Michael Flatley thing, you know?
Real line dancing as well, why not? Obviously there's a new guitarist in the band. He joined, he toured with you last year, Christian...
No, he hasn't toured with us yet.
Oh, right, he hasn't, sorry.
Christian Martucci.
Yeah.
He comes from the band Stone Sour. And much to my horror, I hadn't heard Stone Sour or Christian's playing, right? But the boys in Los Angeles, they had tried out a few guys and sent the videos over to me, and I'm going, or not quite. And then Christian found out that we were looking for another guitar player, and he said, "Hey man, you know, can I throw my hat into this ring? I love what you guys are doing. Do you mind if I send you over video?" Oh hell yeah, you know. So he took it on himself to learn, I think, 3 or 4 Black Star Riders songs, videoed himself, sent him over, and he said, you know, not only do I like this guy's playing, I like his looks, I like kind of everything about him. Oh hell yeah, I think this is the guy, you know. But you know, you never know until you get in the same room, right? Until you strap the guitars on, turn your amps on, and the drummer says 1, 2, 3, 4. You're never really quite sure. But we got to LA. 1, 2, 3, 4 happened. After the first song, I'm going, this is really going to work. This is going to work in a really cool way. The thing about Christian now is, you know, Damon and I for the last 3 albums, you know, our styles are pretty similar, right? Not exactly the same, but they're similar, right? Where Christian's is quite a bit different from my guitar playing, right? He looks at it from another angle, kind of, you know. So for me, what it's done on this album, it's really kind of widened the sound out quite a bit, much wider than we had on the previous albums. And I quite like that. I like that idea. I like bouncing ideas off of Christian because he'll come up with an idea and I go, what the, that's never gonna, oh man, that works, you know? So I like those kind of surprise
Do you give Christian ideas or do you let him have a free flow?
Everybody's throwing ideas, you know, everything's going in the pot all the time, right? And pretty much our attitude is never say no to anything. Because you never know what you might be saying no to. Right?
Exactly.
Some gem might be laying on the floor there, right? So we want to try everything at least once or twice, and you'll know within the first couple of times if it's going to work or not.
Well, what has the writing process been like in this album? Because obviously before Damon's quite a prolific writer for Black Star Riders. Obviously now he's gone. So was this a harder album, more challenging album to write?
Way easier. We wrote this album in a way that I've never written an album before. I didn't really know if you could do it this way, right? But because he was out on the road with Stone Sour, and we lived literally thousands of miles away from each other, right? And even kind of FaceTiming each other really kind of doesn't work. Not really. In theory it should, but it doesn't. So he suggested, he said, all right, why don't you guys record all of your, you know, riffs and chord patterns and ideas that you have, you know, on your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, and then email them over to me. And while I'm out on the road, I'll try to stick all these ideas together and see if we can come up with, you know, actual songs, right? So, and I immediately went, really? You don't have to be in the same room with each other? Because that's how I've been doing it all my life. Of
course.
Okay, let's try that. Let's see what happens, right? So I already had like 20 or 25 ideas. Ricky had at least as many as that, and even Robbie, the bass player, had ideas to throw at Christian. There you go, Christian. Impress me.
You did just mention the way with Skype and everything these days. Is that something you embrace, the modern technology, or would you wish it was like the old days where you were in a studio?
I'm old school.
Yeah.
You know, come on, I'm old school. You know, but. We started to get these tracks back, and you heard your bits and all of these parts, and the way he was gluing them together. Most of the time, you agreed with it. Yeah. Every once in a while, I was like, not sure about that. Going into that, maybe we can switch this up. And he's like, great, okay, no problem, right? And push a button, and he's melding something in with something else, right? And to the point where you go, yeah, okay, we can work with that. You know, when we get to rehearsals, we'll hone it down even more, right? So what it did, it afforded us, it saved us so much time that we each had 17 tracks.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we finally got into rehearsals, we started honing that down to, you know, there's still going to be parts that you're not going to like about certain songs. You try to work on those bits, right? And then it's down to, well, we're only going to do 10 tracks on this album. We're going to go old school again.
I think. Do you think that's always important that an album should be just 45, 50 minutes long?
Yeah, you know, and I've heard that from so many people. It's like the concentration level. You know, you get to the 12th song, it's like, really? So, and that was our thought process from the beginning. It's going to be 10 songs, right? And that's harder than you think. Right, well, how come we're doing that song instead of that song? You know, there's a little bit of that goes in. Not a lot, but it happens.
I think one of the great things about Black Star Riders is the concept of the band. You have been quite prolific. I think it's like 4 albums now, 6, 7 years, isn't it?
Somebody said, so you do an album every 2 years? Is that like a pattern or something? And I hadn't even thought about that, right? It's just that's kind of the way it works out. And we're kind of writing all the time anyway. I joke about, you know, Ricky's our lyric ATM machine. You could show him a riff and he goes, I got a lyric for that. Really? Okay.
How would you, obviously it's hard to talk to you about mentioning Phil Lynott. How would you compare the lyrics of Ricky Warwick with that of Phil's, because Phil was like more poetic, and Ricky's also poetic, but he's more political, isn't he?
Ricky's a little bit more political. I think it was the environment that he grew up in. Phil was basically raised in Southern Ireland, where Ricky was raised during the whole Troubles situation. So you know something, as baggage you're probably going to carry with you for the rest of your life.
You know, you talk about the Troubles, and the lyrics of those reflecting quite a lot of the song titles on the new album. You know,
but they don't necessarily mean.
No, it's a bit of innuendo
the
there
war
as well.
kind
Exactly,
of thing. Like, which kind of throws you.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought this was going to be death and destruction of blood everywhere. No, it's a love song. How did that happen?
Exactly. Do you like Ricky just have a free? Did you give him ideas yourself, or did you say, Ricky, you just write whatever you?
No, that's his domain. Right from day one, Ricky made it known that I want to be the lyricist. I want to write all the lyrics, and I'm like, I'm so good with that, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
For me, the songwriting process, the lyrics are absolutely the hardest part of the whole thing.
Definitely, yeah.
And when you can get a talent like Ricky or a Phil that love doing that and can do it really well, man, you just let them go.
I don't know, you know, I was obviously myself out front watching the band, and I've watched it on every tour, and I've seen how strong Ricky has grown as a frontman. You know, obviously I've seen him back in the days as the Almighty, but with Black Star Riders, he's come like another animal, you know, another man. He's so commanding. Do you notice that yourself?
Oh yeah.
The growth in every album and every tour?
I do, and you know something, you know, Thin Lizzy's a great finishing school. It's a great rock school to go through, right? Because it really toughens you up big time, because you better have your shit together. You're not going to stay in there for very long, right? And you know, I did the whole Lizzy thing with Ricky for what, 4 years?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
And I will admit to you, the very first show that he did with Thin Lizzy, he was absolutely shitting himself. He was. Because
for many reasons.
Yeah, for many reasons. And the main reasons, he did not want to let the fans down, the hardcore Lizzy. He did not want to let the, because he knew the knives were going to be out for him. Come on, let's.
Well, they still are in some ways, especially with the old rockers.
Right. And that right there is going to toughen you up pretty quickly, you know, seeing the whip marks on the back. But the great thing was, is almost right off the bat, the Lizzy fans really took to Ricky. They saw how sincere he was about this whole thing, about getting it right. There were no dollar signs in his eyes. You know, he was a real fan of Thin Lizzy and of Phil Lynott, and he wanted to make sure it was right.
And I think it's like with everything, you know, you get the bonus and bonus, but it's not until you see the band you think, yep, I get it. And he does it.
You know, you bring up another point. You know, when it came out that I, you know, hired Ricky to do the lead singing and Thin Lizzy, people were like, what? The guy from the Almighty? What, are you fucking crazy? What's going on here? And I said, yeah, but see, I had played on Ricky's solo album, his very first one, right? And I heard what this guy could do. You know, I heard the timbre of his voice. I, you know, read the lyrics that he was writing. So I knew that I was pretty sure that I was picking the right guy. And I said, well, wait, when do we come and tour in your town? And if you don't like it, then go ahead and speak up. But give it a chance first and see what you think.
But I'm glad you have proved all the doubt as well. You know, Black Star Riders, I'll go out on a new tour, and you know, you've got a new album to promote. But at the weekend, Steelhouse Festival in Wales.
Yes.
You did resurrect the Thin Lizzy name to
we did.
revisit the Black Rose album. How was that for you?
Great. A little frightening. About half of that album never got played
ever, yeah.
So it was like, well, okay, we got to work these songs up. You know, some of it was even in the studio. I can remember sitting with Phil on the couch as we're listening to a playback of one of the tracks, and leading over to him and go, you know, this is never going to see the light of day on stage. Yeah, I know. So those tracks never got played. So now we're up there playing them.
Do you remember the making of that album at the time? Because you know, it's reported that you were the height of your heroin substance abuse. How true that is?
I remember most of it. No, it was, well, we did the bulk of it in Paris. And then we transferred everything over to Dean Street to Tony Visconti's Good Earth studio. We did a lot of overdubs and things in his studio. But yeah, that album was the start of our problems. So that's well documented.
You say that, you know, but obviously when it comes to the Thin Lizzy studio albums, people always regard Jailbreak and Black Rose as the classic albums, but the albums that followed, Chinatown, Renegade, Thunder and Lightning, personal favourites of mine. Do you think they get applauded as they deserve, those albums?
Yeah, I think there's a good portion of the fans. They, like you, they have their certain favorites. Like Tony Visconti, the producer, his favorite is Bad Reputation. He says it's way better than the Black Rose album if ever could be. You know? So it's like everybody has their favorites.
But there's some hidden gems on each of those albums, you know.
There are. You know, we were talking earlier today about how people listen to music. They'll listen to the singles, right? The ones that are intended to be heard, right? In the way like you and I grew up, you would get the album and you would go through that album, right? And you would study all the tracks because, like you were saying, there are hidden gems in there that become your favorites, your personal favorites on that album, which nowadays people don't seem to be all that
with the modern
concerned.
technology, they tend to sit in the car and skip songs rather than like the old day in a cassette, you had to listen to the whole album inside out.
And that's why you hear a lot of the older guys go, well, what's the point of recording an album? Nobody's going to hear the whole thing, right? Well, there still is a point. There is a point to doing this because there will be hopefully a large portion of people.
I think like anything in life, what goes around comes around, and I think it will come back to the day when people will learn the art of how to listen to an album again, hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah, certainly.
That's the whole idea of making an album. Listen to the whole, and then if you don't like some of the tracks, then skip it. You know?
I must mention it was quite a surreal experience the other week. I was at the Sanctum Hotel for some function, and you were there that night. And
it was Iron Maiden and Metallica and all that.
Yeah, it was Chris from Metallica. His wife had an art exhibition.
That's right.
And downstairs in the basement, at the end of the night, there was a band playing, and it was Dave Bucket Cowell, Clive Edwards, somebody we've had history with, and Adrian Smith and Iron Maiden. They played a few cover versions, and of course they played Jailbreak, and I heard someone behind me cheering away, and I looked around and it was you.
Yeah, I'm rooting them on.
It was quite surreal for me. So what goes through your mind when you're watching another band playing one of your songs?
It's great. You know, I think it's so cool. Well, you know, Adrian, he's told me this, man. He's like a big Thin Lizzy fan, loves the band, right? So I heard him do Rosalie, right? And he did a sterling job. You know, Adrian is a great guitar.
I think it might be right. I think it's Rosalie you played that night as well. Sorry, not Jailbreak. Right. You're corrected me there. Yeah.
Right. So for him to not play a Thin Lizzy song might have been a little weird, right? But those guys played it great. You know, so yeah. You hear guys like that playing, you go, yeah, fucking right, that's great. How cool is that? I would have got up, but I had one too many Diet Cokes that night.
Yeah, I think we all did. It was quite late into the night. Sadly this year we lost Philomena, Phil's mother. And she's been quite supportive of you and Black Star Riders.
Yeah.
So, you know, what does she mean to you?
Well, you know, it seems like I've known Phyllis my whole life. I think the very first tour we did. She used to have an after-hours drinking club in Manchester.
Yeah.
So it's all the croupiers after they came off work, they had a place to go to, right? So she would and we never had any money for hotels, any of that. We were stone cold broke, right? So we stayed at her place. There was one room that had like 12 beds in it, kind of deal. But the coolest thing she did is like that on those nights, she'd go, okay boys, here you go. Here's 10 pounds a piece. I don't want any of these people thinking I'm giving you a free drink, right? I want that they're thinking that you're buying your own drink, right? So she was actually looking after the image at that point. But I talked to her about 4 weeks before she passed. A friend of mine called up and said that Phyllis was doing very poorly. And I better talk to her now rather than later. And I called her at her place, and she got on the phone. I could see that she was really tired and that something was desperately wrong. So I did not want to keep her on the phone. I was going to 5 minutes, and you go back and rest. And she kept the conversation going, right? We were on the phone for like 20 minutes. I'm feeling all guilty. Going, Phyllis, you really need to get some rest here. She wouldn't let it go, but I'm glad I gave her a call. She was a great lady. She so loved her son. It was like
totally. Well, she dedicated her life to it. You know, she put any fans into her home, right to the end. And,
absolutely.
Was she ever motherly to you as well? Did she tell you off as well, or give you advice?
No, she didn't do that. She probably did it to Phil a few times. He was probably a little too big at that point. Right.
Talking to Phil Lynott, obviously post Thin Lizzy band was Grand Slam, and Grand Slam have resurrected themselves as well with Lawrence Archer on guitar.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they have, yeah. They just did a gig at Ramblin' Man Festival last week, and they've made a new album. They just got a signing with Marshall Records, and they've resurrected all the old Grand Slam songs, including Dedication, but I won't go into that right now. But yeah, I was asking you your feelings on that, you know, because they've done a couple of new songs as well, and it's got that sort of Thin Lizzy, Black Star Rider sound as well. So do you see that as competition, or do you wish them all the best?
Competition. Well, you know, here's the thing. I hear all the time. If there's two guitar players in any band, and they happen to do harmony guitars, like, oh, it's Thin Lizzy. Yeah. You know, no, it's not. It's not Thin Lizzy. I mean, if you're gonna have two guitar players, what the hell else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna play a few leads, and you're gonna play some harmony guitars and all that. You know, so I don't really look for things like that because I've heard it too many times down the years that they're trying to be Thin Lizzy, and no, they're not.
Yeah, way past
They're just doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So the Grand Slam thing, I'd be interested to hear it. Good luck to them. I hope they get out there and kick some ass.
I've only seen them one game, but it's pretty good. And the good thing is, we love Black Star Riders, we love Grand Slams.
No, I'm sure they're all like great musicians too. You know? I hope they get out there and kick it.
Funny enough, early this year I went to Bonham's, and KK Downing from Judas Priest, he auctioned off a lot of his old gear. You know, he raised about £250,000, you know, old guitars and pedals and tour jackets. Is that something you ever done yourself or considered? Have you still got all your old?
I sold one, and I don't know why I did it. I regretted it as soon as I handed it over. So I probably won't be doing that for quite a long time. You know, I don't really think of myself as a guitar collector.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point I had something like 50 guitars, and I don't know why I had that many guitars. Even my wife's going, listen, you're only playing like 10 of them.
This is normally the reason why people get rid of their guitars. It's normally her indoors.
So I did exactly that. I don't think I ever really, I just gave a lot of them away.
Yeah.
A lot of them went to charity. Charities always want guitars, and so it's a good cause to do that with. So I did a lot of that.
What about tour memorabilia? Do you keep your passes and tour jackets, things like that?
I've got so many laminates. It's unbelievable. I wish I would have kept a lot of the old, Lizzy tour jackets.
Yeah.
If I've got them, I don't know where they are. I did have one. It was a Chinatown jacket. I thought, wow, cool. The Chinatown. I tried to put it on. The sleeves went up to here, and you're like, was I really that skinny? Or
there weren't so many fast food restaurants back in the 70s. We were a lot skinnier then, weren't we?
No wonder people were going, give that guy a cheeseburger or something, right?
You're on tour later this year, in October, with Wayward Sons and Stone Broken.
Yeah, great bands. Yeah, it's going to be a great show. I think there's no point in getting support bands out there that they're not going to give you a problem. I think that's the wrong way to look at it, right? If you're going to go on a tour, you get bands up there who are great bands, and they're going to put on a great show, right? Because you want the whole thing to be killer.
Yeah.
So, we picked out these two bands because we know what these guys can do, right? Each and every one of them. So we know this is going to be a good show.
Obviously Stone Broken, an upcoming new band, very good, and obviously Wayward Sons features Toby Jepson.
They're great.
I know in the last tour you cut away from the Thin Lizzy numbers. You did like Jailbreak and Whiskey in a Jar, and you really concentrated on the Black Star Riders. Is that going to be the same for this tour as well?
Probably. I think we'll probably always have a couple of Lizzy songs in there, right? Pretty much know that there's people in the audience, they're going to want to hear it. I like playing it. Ricky loves singing it, Yeah. But the difference is we have 4 albums now, The first tour we did with Black Star Riders, over half was Thin Lizzy songs. We just flat out didn't have enough material, But as the albums have come out, we've whittled all that back.
I must admit, I think I saw you at Steelhouse last year, and that was virtually 90% Black Star Rider set.
Yeah.
And it knocked me out. I was quite impressed how strong the songs were. It's great to see it's all coming on. So, all the best.
You know what? the whole idea is Black Star Riders, and we're really standing on our own 2 feet now. And it's been the plan all along. Once we get the catalog built up, we're going to stand on our own 2 feet. But like I say, with that first album, we had 10 songs.
Yeah.
When you're up there for an hour and a half, it's kind of hard to stretch those out to an hour and a half. You know, so. But thank God we had the catalog to play. So.
Can you see a lot of longevity in Black Star Riders? You know, don't mind me saying, you're 68 now. You know, so
right. Well, I tell you what. Oh, you mean me personally?
Well, how do you keep yourself fit? You know.
Am I fit?
Well, you're looking good. You're looking good.
Well, when I play golf, you're walking 6 miles a day, so it's low impact.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I try to be as healthy as possible, but I know there's the ensuing years are probably going to be a little tougher. There's no doubt about that. But you know, all the guys, they look after me really well. You know, make sure that I'm okay, and
I think the most important thing of all is that you're enjoying it.
Yeah. No, as soon as I don't enjoy it, see, I'm out of here. There's no point after that, right? But I love traveling around the world with these guys. I love making music with them. I know this is a really good band. I know the people who have bought the tickets, they're going to have a great time. But like I say, if any of those things start to fade, then there's no point.
I think the great thing as well is, even though Thin Lizzy were a big band, but there's a lot of young fans who have got into Black Star Riders before Thin Lizzy.
Right.
And that's the most important thing of all.
And how cool is that?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a testament to, I guess, a couple of the albums that they latched onto. These guys are worth following, you know, so that's very cool. Well, we've seen that for quite a number of years now, though, where you'll look down in the audience and you'll see, you know, dad, older brother, younger brother, you know, everybody's passing things down to one another, right? So that's a cool way to put it. Cool way to do it, you know? And hopefully it's not just our music. It's dad's going. Well, this band over here, try this band. These guys are cool too, and these guys over here. So hopefully that's happening with a lot.
Yeah, that's the beauty of music. Yeah, excellent. Scott, pleasure talking to you as always. The album Another State of Grace is out on September the 9th on Nuclear Blast, and we'll see you on tour. Myself, I'll see you at Shut the Bush. So
great.
I'm looking forward to that.
We will see you there. Thank you so much.
All the best. Thank you.
Okay.